Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is part 61 of the lady that married the man that didn't exist. Let's continue.
She said she didn't want me going anywhere, that this was my home, but that I think he will behave himself now that everything's out in the open and he's not drinking anymore. I told her I was willing to pay his $300 entry fee into this 1-year sobriety program if he would just go now. I could not be around him. She said, okay, we will figure this out. You're not leaving your home. Let me take this moment to say I have a lot of people in my comments asking, why did I still interact, trust, live with Emily? First of all, this was my home. I received mail here. I paid bills here. This was my home. Second of all, the love bombing from Emily was also crazy. We had these instances in which I would confront her about these things that I had found and that had upset me. But she was still acting like a mother to me, and that was confusing. The love bombing from her, I want to say, felt almost worse than the love bombing from Rob, because with him, at this point, I knew what to expect. I knew what kind of person he was. Emily portrayed herself as such a loving, giving, caring person to everyone around her. If somebody was in a situation and she could help, she would. She really portrayed herself as an amazing person. And she still watched movies with me and asked me about my day and went to the store and picked things up for me when I couldn't and loved me and all of these things. So you sprinkle in these little instances of these like betrayals that she's doing, and then she tops it back on with more love, more attention, more reinforcement. This is the same cycle that keep people in abusive relationships. This was also an abusive relationship. January the 3rd, Emily had a conversation with Rob telling him I didn't want him to come. He called me that morning making threats. What the fuck do you have going on? He was very upset. I said I was going to leave if he came. I told him he can't force me to be around him. I was making my own decisions. He said, you're about to unleash a lot you don't want to deal with. He was
Let's be honest, guys. I know a lot of you are, people are, if you see their comment, everybody's, oh, please don't come for my bestie. Let's be honest. Somebody is openly threatening you, and his mom is condoning it, and you still have the mind to stay in that house. Ha! I don't know how. Me, I'll be honest. I don't know how you are thinking. No, I don't even know. Naturally, I don't even like staying in a toxic environment. Even environment that maybe everybody's becoming tense. I don't even like staying there. Talking about when somebody is openly being hostile to me. I would never want to be in a vicinity that has anything to do with you. Hey. No, but I like the fact that I'm watching this and she's being honest, because it's helping me have a mind, like an inkling of how people have mind, reason. That's why people like that will have victims, because now I'm beginning to have see the way the mind works. Okay, you keep staying there, keep staying there. Not like in her case, it's not like she's helpless, because she's even the one footing the bill so she can afford to up and leave. I don't know if you guys get my point. She's the one footing the bill in this house. She's the one taking care of the girls. She's the one sending money to the man. Ha! I beg you.
trying to control me. He didn't want me making the choice not to see him, making threats to intimidate me. And at this point, I was still very scared of him. So I'm still trying to stand on my boundaries. I'm saying, you can't control me. I don't want to be around you. And you can't force me to be around you. Like, how are you getting mad at this? But on the inside, I was shaking. Just hearing his voice made me nauseous, made my heart race. I told Emily that. I said, he's starting his shit with me already. He's making threats to me. She said, don't listen to him. He's just running his mouth. I will take care of him. Best behavior, huh? This is how abuse works. Not just through the act, not just through the cruelty, but through the ones who protect it. The ones who tell you it's not that bad when you're shaking in your own skin. The ones who try to narrate your own experience. You have never once been able to control this man. This time is no different. I told Emily, he's always running his mouth. I'm so fucking sick of this. Why do I have to live in anxiety because he can't be controlled? I don't know how he can get mad because I don't want to be around him. That makes no sense.
I don't know how you people behave in America, but I'm just using how we live here in my country to judge this case right now. That's his mother's house. You are a guest. Forget the fact that you're paying bills there. You were married into the house. I'm just like using my Nigerian sense. That's his mother's house. You are the one that's supposed to leave that house. I don't even know what you're still doing there. You're saying that's my house. I pay bills there. Hey God, I beg, oh Jesus. Don't you love yourself? You are going and learn to explain what abuse means. Oh, and meanwhile, you are still insisting living there. Okay, oh, continue.
At this point, I was looking for a hotel that I could afford. Emily said, I understand, but I just wish you would stay home. My response, he sets my nervous system on fire. He thinks he can talk to me any type of way and make threats. He doesn't get to have control over me anymore. You should have heard him on the phone the second time. It's disgusting. Emily said, he told me he said some things, but he didn't tell me exactly what they were. Then he said, all I'm going to do is come there, Mom, and spend a couple days with the girls. I won't even talk to her. I was defeated, and that's the point I realized this was happening whether I wanted it to or not. To have someone invalidate your abuse so severely really made me feel like I was losing grip on reality, any reality that I had been hanging on to. To watch someone choose to protect your abuser over your own safety made me feel so isolated and small. He was always...
If you're a woman watching this or you're a man watching this, let me just reiterate it again in case you've not clocked it. Mothers, especially mothers, will go to any length to protect their child. They don't care if that child, unalive somebody in their presence. 99.9% of mothers will protect their child. They will pick their child over you, irrespective of what you are giving them. So the fact that she's saying all this, I don't know. Is it American way of thing? Because we in Africa here, we know it. We know how mothers are. We know no woman will come and say, "Oh, she was." Even people around will tell you, "Are you okay?" They will ask if your sense is still complete. Why are you? ag- Why are you expecting a mother to choose you over her child? It's like I don't know why in my country we understand that. We understand it that mothers will always choose their child over you. So in a case like this, even if I tell my fellow country people this story, they will ask me what is she doing in that house when you've submitted divorce paper. What are you still doing in a man's house? And you are saying the man is abusing you, don't like what he's doing, and you are still living in the house where he has access to. Please help me make it make sense. Like the African girl in me cannot understand this. Ah, Americans, you guys keep surprising me every day. Oh. Like this one, this is another height of it. Ha, this is American way. Me, I will not understand. I will never understand it. I won't even lie. No.
gonna win. At this point, it had been discussed that he was coming just for the day, and I wouldn't be staying. So I made a plan to get the hell out and to stay away. January 4th, I headed up to Tampa to see a friend and stay the night. If my timeline worked out correctly, when I got back on Sunday, he would be gone. January 5th, I was getting ready to leave Tampa. Emily texted me saying Rob was there and that he was sober. I didn't respond. The drive back was a few hours, and I took it extra slow. I stopped to eat on the way there. I was trying to give myself plenty of time for him to be gone. When I got...
The fact that she's still expecting Bob not to be there when she got home is another thing. Like me, I don't want. I don't understand. Why didn't you even stay there until you've gotten news? Oh, he has gone before leaving, before going there.
To the house, his car was in the driveway. I felt like the breath had drained from my body. Emily was in the garage, so I went up to her. She said, "He's staying the night." I said, "Of course he is." I had been trapped. I gave her the nastiest look that I've probably ever given her, and I said, "I'm not happy about this, you know that, right?" And all she said was, "I know." So I went in and I said hello to the girls. I went straight to my room and I locked the door. It didn't take long for his games to start. He made a call, made sure that he was sitting on the corner of the couch right next to my room, and all I heard was Amber's voice say, "Hey, baby." And then the conversation went on. I texted Emily from my room. "He's on FaceTime with that bitch right by my door. Emily, I will go the fuck off." I was not above going out there and making a scene. I was not. She said, "I already told him if he talks to her, he needs to go outside," and he said he would. She said, "But that was," let's call her H, that he's on the phone with one of his friends. And I said, "No, it wasn't, because when they picked up the phone, they said, 'Hey, baby.' So you confronted him and then he lied to you about who he was on the phone with." She said, "I'll tell him again." I said, "I'm going to get a room for the night. I don't have to deal with this. All the nights I shook and cried, all the nights I threw up, all the nights I didn't sleep because I had nightmares." Emily's response: "I talked to him again and he said he will behave himself. I don't want you to leave." I couldn't afford to go get into a hotel room. At this point, I had already decided I probably should be looking for a place to live. And I needed to make sure that I was saving money for whenever that opportunity arose. I couldn't afford to go find a hotel room. "I want you to stay here. This is your home." This was manipulation. I don't know why she was so adamant on keeping me in that house with him. Well, she knew I didn't want to be there. I had no friends in the immediate area. I had nowhere else to go. It was either find a hotel that I couldn't have dropped money on or shouldn't had, or stay there and deal with it. I need you guys to understand how vulnerable I was at this time. PTSD is very real, and I was struggling very hard. I felt like I didn't have the option to leave. I truly felt like I was being held prisoner in my own home. I needed someone to be a voice for me in that moment. I needed someone to protect me in that moment. The woman I thought loved me, who had been a witness to every last bit of abuse, was not just a witness now. She was allowing the abuse to happen. Throughout the course of the evening, he had come in my room because I thought it was one of the girls, and he walked in. And I told him, "What the fuck are you doing in here? Get out." I was on FaceTime. He made a reference to that. I turned the phone away so he couldn't see who I was talking to. He said I needed to come out there and help the girls with their Amazon order. I said, "The girls can come in here." He said, "No, you need to come out there." There was another instance in which he was on the lanai talking to his woman again and had the girls out there speaking to her while I am in my home with the girls. There was another instance in which the little one wanted to bake cupcakes, and instead of asking her father, she came straight to me to ask, because what was her father doing? Sitting his ass on the couch watching football, not interacting with the girls, not spending time with them, just like old times. He did not come to spend time with the girls because, once again, he didn't give a fuck about them. What does it say when you haven't seen your father in 2 months and you come straight to your mother's room to ask her to do things with you because you know your dad won't? You know we say no. That night, he made my life hell. Let's get into the next part.
Hmm. Things that happen. Just imagine what some people are experiencing. People that don't even have any parents or anybody to run to. In her case, she even has parents that she can even pick her phone to call. Imagine someone in this kind of situation that does not even have anybody at all. Wow. Guys, see you in the next part.